Caleb Williams was just named the official starter for the Bears going into Week 1 and is without question getting the famed #1 overall pick. A generational type quarterback prospect was a monumental move by the Chicago Bears after trading their first overall pick last year to the Panthers for essentially a bigger return, which is getting DJ Moore along with the 9th overall pick, who will later be Rome Odunze, and of course the first pick of this year's draft in Caleb Williams. For a franchise that had a whole history of being anus at developing QBs, let alone drafting them, the Bears never had a QB that was a first ballot Hall of Famer like ever. In fact, the best QB of this franchise is Jay Cutler. Yes, Jay Cutler. That's how piss poor these Bears quarterbacks were over the years. Getting the first overall pick was actually their 3rd overall pick ever, and them having the opportunity to draft a generational type QB in Caleb Williams, it was a given. So in this video, I'm finna discuss how great can this guy truly become. But first, Amen, say man. This is the A-Man Show, back at it again for more banger content. Y'all know what to do. Make sure y'all subscribe. I post NBA and NFL content. Turn on post notifications so that way you don't miss anything new from me. Anyways, stay tuned and let's get it. Caleb Williams, before getting drafted, was viewed as one of the most electrifying college players in history. Every time USC is being televised, they always find themselves being one of the most televised teams throughout the season last year, and all because of the man on the helm in Williams. The way that he showed his prowess was Mahomes-esque, being able to make spectacular plays out of nothing with his amazing arm, as well as having the athleticism to extend plays with his feet and constantly putting his team in the game despite having arguably the worst defense in college football. Having a QB with those capabilities is destined to be generational, but also came with criticism. People often have concerns regarding his ability to make decisions, having to play within an offense, and also had concerns with his character. All of these criticisms had led many people to believe that he's not that great of a prospect. In fact, out of all the players at his position who were touted as generational talents, none of them have been more criticized and scrutinized than Caleb Williams. Honestly, this is so much similar to the likes of LeBron. Before he got drafted, he was the most hated prospect ever, to be honest. Not only draft experts wanted to see him fail, but his future teammates were wanting to see this guy fail as well. And look at what has happened since then. And the same thing when we are talking about Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams can potentially be the LeBron James of the NFL, and he already have the experiences to back it up. The greater thing is that Caleb Williams really have the pieces around him to have a historic rookie season, even better than the likes of a CJ Stroud. The front office, specifically Ryan Poles, knew that they were going to take him with the first overall pick, and so they need to make moves for their potential franchise QB, in which they've done so. They traded away their first overall pick to the Panthers, which will later be Bryce Young, in exchange for DJ Moore, who is now a top 10 wideout in the league, along with a 9th overall pick, in which they traded down to select tackle Darnell Wright with the 10th overall pick, along with a 2nd round pick. And with this pick, they will use that pick to trade for, you guessed it, Keenan Allen. And then the next year, we'll select Caleb Williams and Rome Odunze, with a receiving core of a Rome Odunze, DJ Moore, who by the way had a career year with the Bears, Keenan Allen, who has been a consistent 1,000-yard receiver, as well as a reliable, consistent option when healthy. That, along with an underrated tight end duo of a Cole Kmet and a Gerald Everett. The Bears have one of the best receiving cores in the league, top 10 at bare minimum. Now, of course, you have to mention the O-line, in which they are not as bad as everyone thinks, but they're not the greatest O-line in the league. However, they do have a really good run blocking O-line, but the pass blocking wise is something to be a concern here, especially with Justin Fields on the helm having to deal with pressures from the edge. They do have holes on the roster, specifically the center and at the right guard position. Hopefully Telvin Jenkins and Darnell Wright can hold it down for the O-line. Now on the defensive side, They are actually really solid. You can make the argument that they are among the top 12 defenses in the league. They have a really talented linebacker core in TJ Edwards and Tremaine Edmonds. They also added Kevin Byard in the offseason, who 2 years ago had an all-pro season, along with a very underrated cornerback duo of Jalen Johnson and Tyreek Stevenson. Yeah, the weakest of their core is the D-line, but Montez Sweat had a career year, having a 12.5 sack season last year. Now, having Caleb Williams as the final piece to make a run at the playoffs, he is due for a historic rookie season. I mean, set rookie records as far as passing yards goes, touchdowns, completion rating, and so on and so forth. He's most likely going to have a record-breaking year because of all the pieces he has around him, and plus a new offensive coordinator in Shane Waldron, who was the QB coach for Jared Goff back with the Rams, and helped Sean McVay's jet motion type offense, the same offense that propelled the Rams to a Super Bowl back in 2018. He also worked with Russell Wilson as an offensive coordinator back in Seattle. One of his best accomplishments as far as his coaching career goes is elevating Geno Smith into one of the better QBs in the NFL back in 2022, but also had a step back the following year. But aside from that, Waldron is for sure an upgrade to Luke Gesty, and the pieces around him fits really well with his spread offense. With all that being mentioned, it seems that Caleb Williams is in a near perfect situation for a rookie QB. Yeah, the O-line is not the greatest, but he does have a defense along with a stacked wideout core, along with a really good back in DeAndre Swift. It truly gives Caleb Williams an opportunity to show how great he can truly become. Caleb Williams has the chance to be the greatest player of this franchise history. Yes, over guys like Walter Payton, Dick Butkus, and so on and so forth. Williams possesses a Mahomes-like potential where he can impact a team even with a situation where he doesn't have as many weapons on the roster to work with. As long as he has an Andy Reid type of coach and a Travis Kelce type guy on the roster, which is a Roma Duze, then he's going to make this team he's on a Super Bowl contender every year once he hits his prime. We are looking at a guy that is going to win multiple MVPs, set multiple records, make multiple All-Pro teams, and rival Patrick Mahomes as not only the best QB in the NFL, but the best player overall. He has the build, the intangibles, and the character to be amongst the greats of this sport. And I believe that this guy can propel this franchise back to the glory days since the 80s. We saw how great these Bears team were back in the 80s without a superstar QB. Now with a potential all-time great QB in Caleb Williams, I'm expecting this franchise to win multiple Super Bowls later down the road in the decade and become more of a hallmark franchise like the Packers of old, the Patriots, the Steelers, and now the Chiefs. So I've given you a description of how great Caleb Williams can truly become. I have shown you that Williams' potential can rival that of Patrick Mahomes, especially being in potentially the golden age of quarterbacks. I mean, I could name 7 QBs who can win an MVP and multiple All-Pro teams sometime in the future. Despite them, none of them have the upside than Caleb Williams. Williams have the opportunity to really change this franchise forever, especially what he's going to do in his rookie season with this Bears roster. Yes, they are arguably facing the best division in football in the NFC North, where they have to face the Detroit Lions, a Super Bowl contender, then the Packers, who is a playoff contender themselves, a Vikings. The Vikings can be a wild card team as well. The division is very tough, and if Caleb Williams takes this Bears team to a playoff spot with a historic rookie season, a season that is better than the likes of a CJ Stroud, Justin Herbert, all them guys as rookies, then it's going to put the Bears on the map for many years to come. And in fact, with Caleb Williams on the helm, I see the Bears be one of the more popular teams to watch going into the regular season. So in conclusion, Caleb Williams is going to show everyone that he is not just the real deal, but a guy that can actually rival Patrick Mahomes later in the foreseeable future, with a rookie season that is the greatest of all time, and he has the opportunity to do so with this roster. And that's the vid. Let me know in the comment section below, can Caleb Williams be an MVP candidate as a rookie? Let me know, and be sure y'all tune in for more NBA and NFL content in the future, and turn on post notifications, and that is all. Stay litty. This is the A-Man Show. Sign out.